Hello and welcome back to another episode of Voice of the Rings. I'm your host and guys, Zollin Ironshield, and again I'm joined with Jethros today, and this is a PvP quick guide to Frodo and Sam. Alright, so that's the goal of this video today. We're going to take you through 5 different things, and we're going to assume that you're respect 5 with Frodo and Sam. Not like me, but I will be later. But we're going to just assume that, and we're going to try to give you the best PvP build that we can muster. Again, there's always, take stuff with a grain of salt because depending on the items you have, depending on certain situations, but we'll try to go through that. So, Jethros, can we start with what would be your ideal PvP build with Frodo and Sam? And you can give us a little layout of what maybe you do with a certain group of commanders, kind of thing.
Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna make a few people salty here. Okay. You're totally allowed to disagree with my personal opinion.
You can leave
but
lots
my
of
opinion
comments.
is never wrong. So anyways, Master of Bag End, absolutely 100% his best skill. This skill alone makes him probably one of the best tanks in the game. So if you have any unit that can taunt or force themselves to be attacked, then he is Frodo and Sam. They are great at defensive thing. So I would always max this first.
Okay.
Yeah, the damage reduction's a little bit lame. It's softened up at level 5, and then you get a little bit of extra defense at level 10. So that's awesome. Now here's where things get spicy. I think a lot of people would recommend getting the evasion from the R5 from the Ring Bearer skill. But because because initiative is so important in PvP, I actually would recommend maxing out Harfoot instead. And what this is going to do is going to allow you to get extra initiative during combat. And I know that this initiative doesn't apply until the pre-battle phase, but if you look at the level 10, when it's maxed out, you get plus 10 unit initiative, which, if you guys remember, unit initiative does increase the overall initiative of your formation.
Okay.
Because the overall initiative is calculated by the commander's initiative and also considers the unit initiative to find a combined initiative in the turn order. And so if you can get a lot of initiative on Frodo and Sam, you'll actually be able to outspeed with Harfoots. You'll be able to outspeed some Saurons. And
so because they get the
that's
plus,
going to be huge.
Do they get the plus 8 at 10 and the plus 8 in combat? Does that stack on?
Once combat starts, you're going to get the plus 8 in the pre-battle phase. It doesn't apply before that. So you have to make sure you're going first. But that plus 8 applies before battle on your stats. Like, it just applies flat out to your unit. It's not something that's added specifically in battle. It's added outside of battle.
Okay. So, very cool. Very cool.
It's interesting, but it basically makes it go off before the pre-battle, which is when Saurons would give their madness. And when I used Frodo and Sam and didn't have enough initiative, getting madness from Sauron from your Frodo and Sam skills will apply Master of Bag End or Ring Bearer onto one of your enemy's units, making them very, very, very hard to hit.
Okay.
And that is not fun.
So then definitely Sam and
then they're super squishy and vulnerable at that point too.
Got it. Sam and Frodo then are definitely a more tank focused commander group. Okay.
And just to let others know the logic between why I recommend Master of Bag End over Ring Bearer is because Master of Bag End gives the whole unit, the whole formation, which includes Frodo and Sam themselves and their units. But Ring Bearer only applies to the units. So what happens sometimes if you have Ring Bearer and not Master of Bag End is Frodo and Sam's health drops super low, and then they can die sometimes even before the units. Because of how. And if you're trying to make damage is distributed,
be tanky.
So Master of Bag End makes it distribute a little bit more evenly.
Yeah. What are the this is important, I think. What are the ideal 2 or 3 units to have on them if they're like if they're the commander in chief in the front? Tanking?
Yes. Number 1 is initiative.
Okay.
Number 2 is unit defense.
Oh, okay. So we're talking about stats. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then number 3 is command.
All right, let me switch over. Oh, but before we do
Unit defense and command are somewhat interchangeable.
Got it. Look, we're Frodo and Sam.
Yeah.
No. All right. Oh, but we switch over. So can you say that one more time for the stats? You said it's the
So initiative first,
is the
and then
stat.
unit defense
Okay.
or command. I would actually say command for second, and then unit defense third.
Okay. Got it.
So yeah.
So command. So initiative.
I would
command,
prioritize command
defense.
over commander health.
Okay.
But yeah, and then unit defense is definitely better than commander defense or unit attack or commander attack. We
Got
don't need
it.
any
Commander
of that
health.
on them.
Yes. Yeah. So initiative, command.
Initiative, command, and then unit defense.
Unit defense. And this is their defense, but unit defense would be on the items, is what he's talking about. So that usually goes straight from the item to your unit, not them.
Yeah. So you have
it's
the
not
best
this stat. This is the commander one.
right there. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So so it would be initiative, command, the unit defense stat, and then you were saying it could be commander health and defense after that. Those are kind of like thrown on there at the end. So there's the stats, and then I was also curious about what unit is good with them. Isn't it Dol Amroth Knights or the Beasts?
So the Dol Amroth Knights are the best good side unit, or Swan Knights, if those of you that are confused.
Yeah, sorry.
But then Great Beasts is the best unit overall in the game for them, because they actually protect and absorb damage for the entire fight, whereas the Swan Knights only do for the first 3 rounds, and they only protect 2 of their own units, not 3.
Got it.
Yeah,
I just wanted a side note with that.
Are weird because they make enemies attack them, but the Swan Knights protect their allies. So it's kind of weird, but sometimes that comes into play when you're considering the mechanics. But we won't.
Yeah. And I know we don't usually talk in these fast guides. We don't usually talk about the units, but I thought I'd just mention that because they're a defensive tank unit.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 best
Any
ones you
tanky melee unit is great with them, though. Generally, melee units get prioritized over ranged units. So
yeah,
you can keep that in mind for other unit options.
Good to know. All right, so now if you were going to pick the ideal in-slot gold weapon, Jethros, what would it be for them?
It would be the Reckoning. Yep.
This one.
Yep.
So give them a Nazgul
120
sword.
command and 15 unit defense. That sounds perfect to me. Remember, the thing about command why it's slightly better than defense is because command just does a flat reduction to all damage done, which means it reduces the focus damage and physical damage.
Yeah.
Or poison. It does poison all the elemental types and physical. Whereas unit defense only protects physical. And so that's why command is a little bit better at giving resistances, damage resistances to the units.
So is there any other gold one that would be a good secondary weapon if they didn't have that one?
Yeah, I mean, you can do anything with high command and defense. I think that the
trying to remember which one.
The gigantic hammer is good, but it doesn't have very much defense on it.
Okay.
It's just high command. The Dawn is a decent one because it gives a mixture of almost everything you could use.
Okay.
I wouldn't scoff at it. It's actually probably decent. Just remember that you get a 10% damage reduction to your own units when you take Master of Bag End.
Yeah.
So putting too much attack might just be kind of wasted.
Yeah. So even the Black Mace could be
Black
decent.
Mace is pretty good for the commander defense.
Oh, that's commander though. Yeah. So
yeah.
Okay. Cool. So and then what would you say if they only had purple items? What would be the best purple weapon for them to use?
The best purple weapon would probably be the Uruk crossbow.
Okay. Commands the unit defense. Okay.
Yeah.
Focus. Yeah. All right. Cool. So that's the one you want to shoot for that. So then we would say what would be the best chess piece in slot with gold items?
The Explorer outfit. Yep, that one. That's probably the best one. Gives unit defense, initiative, and commander defense. So you're getting a lot of initiative there.
Okay.
So that's really good.
Yeah.
I think that's probably your best option. Another honorable mention might be the tracker plate because that also gives +1 initiative.
Yeah. Durin's plate could be decent too with the defense, right?
Yeah, unit defense +12 is good.
And the tracker plate you said because of initiative and defense.
I just wanted to squeeze out, as much initiative as I can get here. In
Yeah.
fact, there are probably other weapons that would have been worth mentioning for their initiative.
Oh,
alone,
yeah, we could do that real
but
fast.
there's not a lot of initiative weapons that give unit buffs or command.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a toss-up there.
And you
on how
still,
much
you were
wanna go
saying
into.
initiative is one of the top ones you want to do, though.
Yeah,
right?
I think Sandclaw is probably.
Probably should mention
that does
yeah.
it just does unit attack. So
Mhm.
yeah, I think I probably would just go for the Reckoning over.
Yeah.
I still think
Just
that's
that
best to
flat
slot. It is a
command
bummer it doesn't have
defense.
initiative, but hopefully with everything else we're going to be recommending here,
Yeah.
that will help.
You'll get some more initiative. So now the chess piece you'd recommend then for the purple chess piece.
The purple
go
chess piece, it would be the Superior Harburg.
Yeah. Okay.
That's going to be the best one
Unit
here
defense.
for unit
Okay.
defense. But if you want to get as much initiative as possible, then the Scout's Mail is
Okay. Scout's Mail. There it is.
yeah.
Okay, got it. Get some initiative. Just throw it on there. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. And then we'll jump to helmets. So what would be the best one if we were going in the order again of initiative and then command and
The Call of the Forest.
yeah. I think
That
it's
one
really good.
is the best for initiative, and it does give unit defense and command. So that one's probably the best with them.
It's a good helmet.
But
Yeah. We were
another
talking about that one a lot
option
lately.
is the Cask of the Submerged Isle,
Okay.
which is basically really good command and
That's
unit
really good.
defense. So yeah, that one's a great one too.
So you want to aim for initiative, but ideally you just really want to have command and unit defense too.
Yeah, the way I see
with
it is
them.
if you're giving up command and defense for the initiative, then it might not be worth it.
With this particular
But
commander.
If you're
Okay.
giving up, if you can get initiative and unit defense and command, then it
like
might be worth
this.
it.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
All
that
right.
one is probably better. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then what do you think for the ideal helmet would be then for them?
The ideal helmet here would be the Arnor Cask.
Okay.
Yep,
Command
you clicked
unit.
it there, and then probably the I can't really see that's the one. Thank you, Horseman's Helm.
Okay.
Sometimes I need to see the
Command.
picture to remember the name.
Yeah.
But that
command
one
and
gives
unit
6
defense.
unit defense and gives 35 command. So that one's
Okay.
probably even better.
All right. Cool. Good to know. All right. So now we'll pop over to the accessory to finish up. So what would be the best in slot accessory? Now this is the hard one, right? If you're trying to keep
Maria's
initiative.
Reign.
Okay.
Maria's
So not
Reigns
hard.
is definitely the best one here.
Oh yeah. Unit defense.
High unit
8.
defense, high initiative, and it gives command.
So you're looking for this for them, basically. If
Yep.
you can get this, that would be good.
And probably a secondary good option is also the carved dragon tooth necklace,
Which I don't
which we
have. I
talked
can't
about
see
wasn't
here,
in
but
here. But
yeah.
But yeah, that one's probably a good secondary gold item.
Okay.
For accessories.
All right. And then what would be a good accessory you think for purple if they only have purple?
The drums of Moria are probably the best here for the purple
Got it.
ones.
So, and I'm sure most free to play could get this very easily. So, aim for drums of Moria, guys. So,
yeah.
sweet. All right. And then I'll show them real quick that other item, since I believe I have the dragon's tooth. And we looked at it. Didn't we? Oh, we looked here. This is the other item he was saying would be really
the
good.
carved dragon tooth.
Command, 6 attack, 6 defense for units. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Usually
good
there's
one.
a couple other ways we were thinking to get it, but you can also get it. It's usually a reward for winning the stuff.
Yep.
So usually it's hard because it's like you have to have the first place winning to get it this way. So it's a little bit challenging. So now to finish up, since we've covered that, we're going to go into items real quick, and we're going to go into what, for the fifth thing, what is the best in slot, set bonus. All right. So what do you think the best one would be then for them?
It depends on the unit, so I'll just mention the 3 best are evasive action,
This one? Okay.
divide and conquer, or fortitude.
There it is. Divide and conquer. Yep. Stacking.
So I would recommend evasive action if you're using Swan Knights or trolls, things that would only taunt for the first few rounds. I would also recommend divide and conquer, especially for the Great Beast, since they basically taunt for the whole fight. And then the other one is just good all around for
just flat defense.
reducing physical damage, but it's not going to reduce
Focus, poison.
focus, poison, and
Okay.
fire damage. Burn
Cool.
damage.
Is thick armor maybe a 4th option if that's all they
Yeah,
had.
thick armor is a good option, and remember too that sometimes that plus 20 defense is more useful than the 10% damage reduction if you don't have a lot of defense.
So maybe if they have all purple items, so their flat numbers aren't as high.
Maybe if you
that
have all
might...
purple items, you could focus thick armor as well.
Cool. We did it. Awesome. Thank you, Jethros. We appreciate it. So there you go, guys. The defensive Frodo and Salmon. You guys hash it out in the comments. Be nice to each other. What's the best? Oh no, we like the ring power. No, you guys can have fun with that. But thank you so much. Thank you to my wonderful Patreons for their support. And thank you, Jethros, again, and everyone my viewers. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. We got more coming. And I'll see you guys in the next episodes of Voice of the Rings. Baruch Kazan, Kuzan, I mean you. See you guys.